Hey, we're not doing much at the moment.
No, I'm alright.
Is it just you're not sure what to do? Yeah, we're not doing much at the moment and your head's moving. So
Oh, sorry.
just trying to stay nice and still, nice and relaxed, okay? So if you just want to relax your head, I can feel your head's really kind of tense. Look straight ahead like you normally would. Yeah. And I'm just going to tilt it towards the right shoulder. But just going to stay nice and still. Try not to move your head. Try and keep nice and still. I can feel your head moving. That's good. You may hear sudden shooting sounds. Don't be alarmed. It's just the wax going up the tube, but it can be quite startling. But just going to keep nice and still again. You're doing very well. Okay, just as you are. Probably a bit itchy inside as I'm removing it. Got one piece out there. So look straight ahead again. And then just imagine you're lying on a pillow, so just over towards your right shoulder. But look straight ahead for me. So I'll just show you. Just like that. Have you got a stiff neck or?
No.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's alright. That's it. Still, that's it. Some of this wax is quite deep, you see, so we're going quite fine here. We've got the outer bit out.
Good.
Keeps coming. Another piece out. Doing really well, okay? Another piece I've got out. You've got used to it now, haven't you? It's a bit of a strange sensation. So let's see if you've got any more. Yeah, so your eardrum's fully visible. You just got some wax near the entrance. Just suction that out for you, and we're all good. Bit of skin there, we'll leave that alone because it can be a bit noisy for you. Fantastic, all done. So quite a lot came out. How's that feeling? Yeah, so one down, one to go. You sound relieved? So what we'll do, we'll stand you up, I'll turn the chair around, we'll do the right here.
Thank you.
Your head, and this time I'm going to get you to tilt your head towards your left shoulder slightly. That's perfect. Strange feeling, isn't it?
Have you had yours done?
I have, yeah. It's really peculiar. It's just so nice and still, that's it. Just do your head move again, so we'll just give you... No, that's alright, it's a bit strange, so it's not easy keeping your head still when someone's in your ear and it's...
I'm trying to look at a spot on the wall.
I should put a little X there tonight.
Little tiny...
Doing very well. That's the piece. So that's good. Stretch your ear open because it's narrow, that's it. Yeah, just keep your head, that's it. Nice and still. Yeah, I can feel your head moving away to me.
Sorry.
That's alright. Really do. That's better. I bet you'd be glad once this is out.
They're a new person, won't
Yeah.
I?
I found it here.
Mm.
That's it. Nice and still, you're doing so well. Just trying to ignore all those sudden shooting sounds. It's just the wax going up the tube. So in a way it's a good sign. Just a big piece of wax. I'm hoping that's all of it. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit left on the canal wall. Okay? It's going to be quite loud now because all the other wax is out. No, okay. I'm just going to leave this last bit because I don't want to graze your ear canal in any way. It's only a little bit left on the canal wall.
Yeah.
So this is look there. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I just don't want to graze it. Okay,
No.
so it's only a bit of wax is good for you actually. Let's just get from near the entrance though. So nice and still. Nice and still, that's it. Nice and still. Okay, I'm just going to leave that as well. Because any sudden head movements we can cause a bit of injury. We don't want to do that.
No.
I've got the blockage out. I'm happy with that.
Thank you.
So let's just take a nice look without the vacuum. Yeah, it's just a bit of dead skin at the entrance. That's fine. A bit of what we call non-occluding wax. It's not blocking it at all. And that will naturally work its way out. And you can use some drops if you want just to help that. Again, there's a bit at the entrance, but I'm just going to leave that for you. Brilliant. How are you feeling?
Better, thank you.
Yeah, you look a lot more relieved, yeah.
How long shall I put the drops in for?
So what I'm going to recommend is that you use the drops on a regular basis. You have got quite narrow and twisted ear canals and you're therefore more prone to wax build-up. Earwax tries to come out naturally. Your ear's like a conveyor belt. It secretes wax. The wax comes out, it secretes more wax, and so on. But with your ears, because they're quite narrow and twisty, especially at the entrance, it's such a narrow entrance. I was having to stretch your ear open to get access. As the wax is coming out, it gets blocked near the entrance, and then it builds up behind it. So if you use olive oil spray, something similar to this, you can use that. I mean, how frequently as you want, really. But I normally suggest once a month or twice a month. Tilt your head to the side. So do one ear per night. Try not to do both ears on the same night. Spray it in one of your ears, tilt your head to the side horizontal like you're lying on a pillow, leave it for 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes come back the other way with a tissue underneath your ear to collect all the drops that's draining out. You might have to just pull your ear back slightly to stretch your ear so the oil can come out. If you do the opposite ear, when it comes to draining the opposite ear, some of the oil might seep back into the first ear, hence why we say one ear per night. Once a month, twice a month if you want, and just use it regularly.
Not every day then?
No, you don't want to use it every day.
No. And it's not the drops then, it's the spray?
I think the spray's better. You
can get that from the chemist?
Yeah, we sell it here as well. You can get it from the chemist too, that's no problem. With the spray, it's easy to apply. You just put the nozzle in your ear. It's got a safety mechanism there, so you can't go too far in your ear.
Right.
And with the spray, it evenly coats the ear canal wall, and that's what we're trying to do. With drops, with the pipette, sometimes it's a bit difficult to apply and it comes out big blobs.
That's right.
So try the spray. But both ears.
So a month from now,
I will just leave it for now. You've been using drops for a few days prior to coming. You just want to forget about your ears now. You've had enough kind of headache with those. So leave it for a month and start then. But both your eardrums are very healthy, nice and clear. And
do you think I shall need a syringe every so often? I mean, years ago the doctor used to do it. I used to go about once a year.
Yeah, so if you're a waxy person, by the sounds of it you are, and you're prone to this build-up, I mean, the drops will hopefully help reduce the frequency, but I still think you'll need to get it done. Yeah, every year you can pop back in. Thing with wax, sometimes you kind of know you've got wax, you feel the symptoms. As soon as you feel you've got a bit of wax, just come in. The quicker we remove it, the better it is. When it gets a bit blocked, like today it was quite blocked and it was quite deep, so if we can kind of extract it before it gets to that stage, that would be useful. Maybe a bit more comfortable for you as well. You did really well, you're very still in the end, and it's a strange sensation, people don't realise until you've had the procedure done. So I train people in this procedure, and we've got a training course next month actually, and we get some of our delegates to do it in our ears so they can get a bit of exposure. And even for me, it's like, oh God, it's really loud, and you can get a bit dizzy as well. So now you did fantastically well.
Good.
Okay.
I think years ago it used to be like a water spray they used to do.
They used to use a good old-fashioned metal syringe, which they're not allowed to use anymore, at least in the UK. I think in America they still do. I went to a conference and they were selling it, and I was like, very surprised. But in the UK they used a system called irrigation. So it's similar to what they use at the dental surgeries to rinse your mouth out. They've got a foot pedal, and it's a little nozzle that kind of squirts water out, but they can regulate the pressure. But water is never advisable in the ear. It kind of makes you susceptible to ear infections. If your ear's fully blocked, which is kind of in a way what yours was, it can actually jet wash the wax further in your ear. And if you've got a perforation, which you don't, you can't have syringing done anyway, or if you've had a heel perforation. And that's because water can enter the middle ear, and you can get infection, and also if you've got wax, it can force that through the middle ear, and then we're in a bit of trouble there. So we advise not to get it irrigated.
Right, thank you. Should I put cotton wool in when I have my hair washed?
So shampoo can cause irritation to the ear canal.
It wouldn't do any harm just to put a little bit in each.
Bit of Vaseline around the cotton wool, just on the entrance. Don't try and push it. I've had people come in and they've put it in and it's got trapped. I've had to extract it. So just at the entrance. You can also, from the chemist or pharmacy, or even at the supermarkets now, they sell swim foam plugs.
Oh yes.
So it's a little foam insert. You squash it, put it near the entrance, release, and the foam will expand, and you can use that as an alternative. At least that you know you can take it out because you'll have a bit to grip onto at the entrance. Fantastic.
Right. Thank you very much.
No, you're very welcome. You look. Nice and still for me, and let's get this off your eardrum. So that's going to tilt you slightly towards your left shoulder, and your daughter's keeping a close eye on me. So what I'm doing here, I'm just going to speak to your daughter at the same time to explain. So I'm just stretching the ear open, and now I'm putting the instrument in, and going very deep into the ear, right next to the eardrum, and try and backen that out. Look at that, it's gross, isn't it?
I thought that was going to be bigger.
You thought it'd be bigger, did you?
Just because on the little screen it's big.
Yeah, it does look a bit bigger on the screens, it magnifies it. So let's have another look, let's see if all of that's out. Got all of it out. The eardrum does look a bit damp and wet. Now you mentioned you went swimming, so what's happened, the water's got lodged behind that piece of wax, and it settles on your drums. Your drums become a bit wrinkly. You know when you go for a shower and your fingers especially, they get dehydrated and get wrinkly. I mean, how do you feel? It's a bit damp there. I can try and vacuum some of that, but it's right in your drum. I think you've pushed this against your drums. There's a bit of redness there. How do you feel? Has that improved your symptoms?
Yes, yeah.
So I'm going to leave the rest of that because it's a bit damp. It was dry up naturally. Oh, I'll speak quieter now.
Yeah, it's just been feeling like something's been pressed in on the eardrum.
Yeah, I'll show you in a moment. You'll see it's the front part of the ear called the eardrum. Sorry, so it's the anterior part, and slightly below. So it's the anterior inferior section of the eardrum. It's slightly red, and that's where that piece of wax was lodged against the eardrum. And I think obviously the cotton buds pushed it against the drum. So the drum's slightly bruised, but I think it'd be fine because of the water when you went swimming. It's caused the eardrum to wrinkle a bit. That'll dry up. If after a week you've got any symptoms, you're still not feeling great, just give me a call back. But I think you'll be fine there. Brilliant, all done. No, I'm glad she's pleased. That's word of mouth. That's how we get our clients.
That's right. Absolutely, that's right.
So I'm just going to across just to that. Perfect. So I'm just going to hook this out. feel the narrow ear canal entrance. Finish that off with a scoop actually. Quite a big lump. A bit left on the cycle of wall. Let's just give that. Dead skin actually. So I've got the lump of wax out. It's just some dead skin that's adhered to the canal wall. You will feel a bit of pressure on the canal wall. You should leave it, it's not an issue. You've got the blockage out.
Yep.
It can get a bit uncomfortable when making contact with the canal. Well, not deep in your ear, so that's okay. That's great. So the remaining dead skin just shed and migrate naturally, but the blockage is completely gone. There's a fair amount of wax in there. So what we'll do, we'll stand you up, turn you around, and we'll do the other side. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'd be worried if you might be hearing better actually. So I'm going to use a hook for this, so I might have to resort back to the scoop. You can feel that, can't you? It's like stone, so it's almost just coming out. You're going to feel that slightly, unfortunately, though. It's such a hard piece. There we are. It's so hard, it's bending my ear hook.
Wow.
You know when I do a pole vault and it bends.
I guess that was probably the worst one.
Yeah, well that's a big piece. I've got it out there. Oops, it's just falling on you. You just get a tissue and pick that up. Like a stone. So let's have a look in your ear, just make sure that's out. Yeah, that's fine, just a bit of a dead skin. I'll see if I can scoop it out for you as well. Brilliant, all done, I'm happy with that.
Wow.
Feeling better?
Yeah.
Simple as that, really.
Yeah, superb.
Excellent. Well, let's hope once we get the wax out, the hearing aid stops whistling. So if you look straight ahead, I'm just going to tilt your head just over towards your right shoulder. That's it.
not coming out.
That's it. In actual fact, the amount of wax is not. I've seen a lot more, but because your ears are quite small and narrow, it was just creating a blockage at the entrance. You're not absorbing the feedback. Bit of dead skin. Dead skin can be very loud to remove. I'm going to leave that. I can see the whole eardrum. That's nice and clear. Yeah, that should be okay now. So once you put your hearing aid in, after we do the other ear, hopefully the whistling would have stopped.
Do you want him to put the hearing aid in now?
We'll do it after the procedure because it can be a bit noisy stuff.
I wasn't sure.
So if I can get you to stand up, Mr. Pictures, I'm going to spin the chair around. Not as much on this side, but enough to cause the hearing aid to whistle. Bit of dead skin. Yeah, that eardrum's fully visible. So let's put your hearing aids back in and let's see if the whistling stopped. Okay, so let's get this out for you. I'm going to position your head just over towards your left shoulder. That's perfect. Let's see if this is discharge or oil that you've been using, yellow stuff. Perfect. Yeah, so it's definitely infected.
Oh,
No, it's fine, I can show you afterwards.
yeah, sorry.
Okay, I'm quite happy with that. When you've got an infected ear like this, you've got all this discharge, which is really wet and loose. So I've vacuumed as much out as I can. I can see the whole eardrum there, but there is an infection. You've got what we call otitis externa. It just means an outer ear infection. You've got some otter ears and discharge, so we need to get you back to your GP. You should be hearing a bit better. But this infection needs to be resolved. We're not curing the infection by sucking out the discharge. We're just removing the secretions from the infection, but the underlying infection is still present, if that makes sense. So that can only be treated by medication. So I can see the whole eardrum. It's very wet. I've got as much out as I can safely, so it should be a lot better. When it's wet like that, you've got dead skin, and you can be there forever just removing every little last speck, and it's not going to make any difference. We've got the blockage. You should be feeling better. How's that for you?
I feel better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent, yeah.
This ear is also infected.
For you.
So in this ear you've got otomycosis. It's a fungal infection. You can see the spores. I'm just trying to get as much out as I can. So I just want to get this off the canal. Don't worry, just you can take a seat because when you stand up, it gets nervous for me.
Yeah, sorry. May I go outside then?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I feel nervous as well. Doing very well.
If it was stuck to your ear canal wall and it can be uncomfortable to remove, but you're very still. Got this dead skin, let's suction that out. Let's have a look. Got a little bit left, let's see if we can get this out for you as well. With that. Fantastic, you did amazingly well there, you're very still. We got a lot of this fungal spores out that's attached to the dead skin. Happy? Feeling better? That's great. Okay, really still for me. You're doing really well. Don't move, that's it, you're doing so well. Oh, look how brave you are. So let's get, so it's going to be, sorry, you're just going to,
You can't touch the dog.
so do you want to just take a seat please, is that alright, yeah?
Please.
Take a seat.
I know it's
I'll show you afterwards.
It's really interesting.
We'll show you afterwards. So you're doing so well, that's it, nice and still for me. Wow, look how brave you are, but that's it, nice and still. Let's get this wax out for you. It's moving, it's coming. So brave. Can you hear it all? Can you hear all that noise?
You're
That's just
doing
the wax
amazing.
going
Keep still. Keep still. Keep still, darling. You're doing fantastic. Then sit down. Sit down, babe. Just put it on the table and sit down.
Look at that. Almost out. So if you want to keep staying still for me, we'll get this last bit out
Whoa.
for you. So just a bit of dead skin. Let's get this out. You're doing so well.
Heidi, what a brave girl.
So just have a look in your ear now.
Just a camera now.
Just a camera. You're going to stay nice and still, like you were doing before.
Flinny,
So
leave.
just a bit. Good.
So, that's super
we're
brave.
nearly done now. Just got a little bit left.
Wow, we're going to show you what the dirt came out in a minute. Because you're so brave.
Look how still you are, like a statue. So good. Really well done. That's all done now. So let's just take a nice photo of your eardrum. It wasn't that bad, was it?
You were so still.
So
How fantastic were you?
Can I have another look inside?
You're just going to do a camera. This isn't
So
a
it's
just
no
a
more.
camera.
There's no more vacuuming now. So
Wow.
if you look straight ahead for me, I think that's all out. You've done so well.
What about a writer?
The eardrum does look retracted, so we'll do a pressure test in a moment. But all the wax is out now. It's all gone.
Do you want to come and have a look at all the dirt?
No.
You don't, but I know you really does. Do not touch anything.
Look at that.
Look at that. It looks like a slug.
During the procedure, I can put some in for us, but let's have a look. Let's see how we fare. So it's on straight ahead.
What the practice nurse said was there was quite a lot in there, you know.
tube. Right?
Yeah, I'm feeling fine, yeah.
Yeah, I've got the blockage out deep in the ear. That eardrum's nice and healthy.
Yeah,
You've just got some wet wax around the edge of the ear canal.
yeah.
A bit of wax is actually healthy for you, and it can be a bit uncomfortable when we remove wax off the ear canal
Yeah.
because we're having to almost lift it off, and your ear canal is very sensitive. So what I'm going to do is use a little scoop, which would be
Yeah.
better than the suction probe.
Okay.
Because it's just near the outside, so even if we do make a contact, it won't be that bad. But it'll be very delicate. Can you feel that? Just applying a bit of pressure. So I'm happy with that. It's a bit of wax on the canal wall.
Yeah.
But you've not come here to get a bruise on your ear canal. You've come
No.
here to remove the blockage of
Yes.
wax in here. So we've done that. If we try and be clever and try and get the rest of it out, we're just going to graze your ear and
Yeah,
get bruised.
yeah.
And you think, well, you won't come back here. So I'm really pleased with that. I've got
Good.
more wax in mine than you have.
Yeah.
So as I said, a bit of wax is healthy. So yeah.
Definitely I can hear more.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's basically the same now.
Stereo.
Yeah.
That's what we want. That's what we like to hear. Brilliant.
That's
All done.
great.
No, you're very
Lovely.
welcome. Yeah, that's rock hard. So I'm going to use a hook and even possibly a scoop. Yeah, put the suction probe on and it bounced back. So I'm just going to try and get into the little gap. It's just a lot of dead skin. It's pulling on your hair as well. Floor looks a bit softer, so let's go back in with the vacuum. This ear is actually infected. You've got an infection.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'll go see the doctor about that.
So I'll write to your doctor as well. I'll clear out as much debris as I can. Have you been poking in your ears as well? Because it's a bit bruised in there.
I do use my fingers sometimes.
Okay, I want you to avoid that because
Okay.
it has bruised your ear in several places. You put your finger in.
Okay.
So we're not going to get all this debris off because a lot of it, the other bit on the outer side, the upper part of your ear is crusty, and the inner bit is really damp and soft and sticky to the canal wall. So I don't want to graze your canal because it's already quite red. Yeah, but definitely avoid getting your finger in your ear. I suspect you've been doing that because your ear's been itchy. Have you been poking in your ear because your ear's itchy?
Yeah, I'm just about to hear you, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
But yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because the underlying infection's still there. So. You've just got a bit more fluid on the eardrum. That's what I'm going to focus on. All this debris around your ear canal, when you go to the GP and they prescribe you medication, that will help with that. You've just got a bit of fluid left on the eardrum. That's my main focus. So I want you just to hear a bit better. So if you look straight ahead again. Okay, let's see if we can get this. Okay, so I've got the fluid off the eardrum. I don't know whether if you can hear me a bit better on that side. Let's just get your right one out, okay? Then you can maybe also hear me a bit better if you're still struggling with your hearing. Yeah, it's very hard on this side. So I'm just going to go with a book to begin with. Yeah, I've cleared the debris from your right ear. Can you hear me a bit better on this side?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so with your left side, you've got what we call otitis externa, so it's an outer ear infection.
Okay.
So you had a lot of dead skin and debris and some earwax, which I removed.
Yeah.
Because it's infected, the skin is also affected. That's coating the ear canal, and it got very damp. But there's a lot of discharge in there, a lot of fluid directly over your eardrum. So I've vacuumed all that off for you.
Brilliant.
Around the edge, obviously your ear's a bit bruised because of me using your finger. I think you weren't able to hear me very well before, but were you rubbing your finger in your ear because it was itchy? Your ear? Yeah. So otitis externa can cause itchiness and irritation to the ear. So, but it's a vicious cycle. If you itch it, it's going to get worse. So it's a bit bruised. That'll settle. I tried removing a lot of this dead skin, this damp debris off your canal wall, and it was very close to your eardrum, and it was coming to blistering your ear canal, so it's very sensitive. So I don't want to do any more.
No, that's fine.
So we need to get you to your GP, and they'll prescribe some medication for your left ear. The right ear's fine. Okay, I've got a big lump out there.
Oh, yeah.
So you should be hearing better. I'm just going to do another test in your left ear just to make sure there's no infection behind the eardrum as well. So I'm going to do a pressure test, okay? So we'll do that for you. So your right side's the more prone to wax buildup. It can just be genetic, sometimes it can be the anatomy of the ear. So once we remove the wax, I can compare the right and left ear anatomy. Just slightly tilt your head across towards your left shoulder, that's perfect. So if it gets a bit too loud or if it's uncomfortable, let me know. Bit of a strange sensation, okay? Just pull up my tube. Have you been using Otex or Earrex? Yeah, I can tell. They're both hydrogen peroxide based drops, and it softens the wax, but it also makes it quite mushy. So
Okay,
they
so
tend
hard to clear out.
Yeah, I prefer olive oil drops.
Well, I started with olive oil drops.
Did you?
But the trouble was I couldn't get a appointment to have my ears syringed afterwards. So that's why I had to swap to the Otex. But that didn't work either.
Yeah, there's a myth that hydrogen peroxide drops dissolves wax. It doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't, okay.
There's nothing that actually dissolves wax. Hydrogen peroxide and sodium bicarbonate can disperse the wax, break it into little pieces, but it won't dissolve it. It will still be in your ear. Clean the lens. So. I've got the blockage out. It's just very wet in your ear now. You need drops of removing. I'll get as much out as I can, but because it's on the ear canal wall, it can be a bit uncomfortable. But just on the outer part at the moment, so the outer part of the ear canal is near the cartilage, so it's not as uncomfortable to make contact. The inner bit is literally skin on bone. That is a bit insensitive. We've still got a little bit of earwax left in the eardrum.
Okay.
Just try and get that out for you. I'm going to use a different instrument for this part of the procedure.
Okay. I've gone a bit lightheaded.
You can get the caloric effect, so when we vacuum the ear, it reduces the ear temperature.
Okay.
So if you're getting a bit lightheaded with this, just keep your eyes focused, look at a point ahead and just let me know when it settles. It's just that your ears are telling your brain that you're moving because of the temperature difference between the two ears.
Okay.
So because the right ear is at a lower temperature, your brain's receiving mixed signals from both balance organs, so you've got one balance organ in each ear.
Yeah, I'm a vet student actually, so I know about these things.
So you had the caloric effect then. Yeah, it's exactly what you're experiencing, and that will settle. You just want your eyes to correct your ears. And by fixing on a point, it does
I'm
that.
afraid that I'm not moving.
It's a natural high.
Yeah.
Just let me know when you're feeling okay.
It's alright.
Okay. So we're not going to get all this wax out of your canal wall because it is sticky, but a bit of wax is good for you, and it's not blocking your ear. It's just this bit on the eardrum. Let's see if I can get it off. Earwax is making my job very difficult today.
What was that, sorry?
So a lot of my clients today have been using Otex and
Yeah.
Earwax. Everyone's got mushy wax. It's horrible to vacuum.
Yeah, well, as you say, it's
You're not to know, are you? So
no.
I'm just really close to your ear. So nice and still. I'm really pleased with that. So there's a bit of wax left in the anterior recess. I mean, it's only a small amount. I'm a bit hard on myself sometimes. It's just on the canal wall. Now, the ear canal near the eardrum is skin on bone. It's very sensitive. There's no fatty tissue between the skin and the bones. If you make contact with that, you'll make it bleed and you'll be uncomfortable.
Okay.
So you've not come here to develop a bruise or in your ear. We're trying to relieve the symptoms, remove the wax, which is what we've done. I can see the eardrum. Because the wax was stuck on the drum, when we removed it off, there's a bit of staining down in the drum. We'll leave that. It's not going to improve your symptoms. As a vet yourself, you don't do treatments unnecessarily. You don't take unnecessary risks. By trying to get all these little bits of wax out, you can perforate your eardrum and cause you discomfort, which we don't want to do. You've come here so you can get the wax clear so you can hear better. I'm 100% sure you can do that.
Certainly
I've
can.
probably got a bit more wax in my ear than yours, if I'm honest. So, I'll show you the video. You feeling okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's normal to have a bit.
Yeah, wax is a natural product, slightly acidic, so it repels insects apparently. So it's an evolutionary trait that we've developed. So when we sleep on the floor and all these spiders and insects, so it's designed to repel that. The acidity also helps inhibit certain bacterial growth, so it's got antibacterial properties. Because it's sticky and greasy, it lubricates the ear canal wall and the skin that coats it, so it prevents it from drying and cracking. And also, because it is sticky, any foreign particles, dust, debris, pollen that entered it sticks to the wax. And normally wax comes out by itself, it naturally migrates. So it's a cleaning mechanism for the ear. So yeah, a bit of wax is healthy, so I'll show you the video. So let's do your left ear first. Okay. So just tilt your head just there. That's perfect. That's come out of a huge plug. It's always nice when it comes out in a big plug. So what I was doing, I was loosening it around the ear canal, and then I went back to the front part of the wax. Well, it's a bit left still.
There's loads in there, isn't there?
There is, yeah. Not far off being a record.
Really? It's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. You have got a bit of eczema in your ear,
Okay.
so I'll write to your doctor that you get a bit of treatment for that. Okay, so
Thank you.
it's a bit easier if it's a bit better, if it comes out in one go, but if not, I can put a bit of drops in. Yeah, I can feel it's quite hard. Yeah, so let's get a hook in there. It's really embedded. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. So it's just under the bowl of your ear. I'm going to vacuum that to put it on a tissue. Louder now because all the wax is gone. You just got a bit of wax deep in your ear. And then a scoop just to lift up the canal wall. You've got this eczema in your ear, it can be a bit sensitive, and I think yours is a bit, so I just want to, instead of using suction probe, I'll use this for the last bit. Fantastic, all clear.
Brilliant.
All the wax is gone. Eardrums are nice and healthy. There's quite a lot in there, as you can see.
Yeah, loads.
It's quite dry, crusty wax. So you have got this eczema in your ear. It's called otitis externa. I'm going to write a letter to your GP and prescribe some spray.
Yeah.
It will just help if you do have any itchy muscle irritation. It will help settle that. Because the last thing you want to do if you develop an itchy ear, you don't want to scratch it because you get dust and dirt in your fingernails that can cause an infection, grazing the ear canal. So it's a really good spray they can give to you at the GPs. Yeah, how are you feeling?
Yeah, good, a lot better.
Excellent.